What do you think?
我现在 not bad 哦，新肉放小白菜。
Although the expensive crab stick.
Not bad.
What are you trying
This is
next?
the fish.
Or the tilapia?
Not bad.
Not bad. 你已经讲3次 not bad 了嘞，懂吗？So this is made in Singapore crab stick.
Actually not bad.
Okay, so why are we doing this again? Most people think of Singapore as a food lover's paradise. But here's something that will surprise most people. We actually import over 90% of our food. But why? The short answer is because we are tiny, just 728 square kilometers. Most land goes to homes, roads, and buildings. There's hardly any space left for traditional farming. We also do not have a large natural supply of fresh water and lack water for irrigation. So, we've had to build one of the world's most advanced food import network, bringing in fruits, meats, or grains from countries around us like Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam, to countries that are half a world away like Brazil. But we are not just relying on imports and have tried to strengthen our own food production. We are growing food in unconventional ways like rooftop farms, vertical farms, and even high-tech smart fish farms. We are also investing in agri-tech, urban farming, and even lab-grown meat. The goal? To produce 30% of Singapore's nutritional needs locally by 2030 and boost our food security in case food supply chains are disrupted. We've had some success. Local egg production now contributes more than 30% of local consumption, and local bean sprout production at more than 50% of local consumption. But while egg taugeh sounds okay, do we actually produce a wide enough variety of foods to be able to make an entirely locally produced meal? That's what we are trying to find out. Can we make steamboat using only ingredients that are produced in Singapore? And to make this even more challenging, can we find the ingredients that we are looking for at a typical supermarket? 我们的 plan 就是要买 SG produce 的material for steamboat.
Yes.
Okay, 来我们的 list 有什么东西？你讲。What are the things you need to buy?
We need to buy 菜、
肉、
肉、fish ball.
Okay.
它的 soup base 的 paste.
Soup base.
Yeah. 还有什么？我们 steamboat 没有吃到很多料的吗
OK， 所以我们就是这些呀，就是肉菜看一下 fish ball 这些导体之类，还有 stock 那个 soup base。要那个黑木耳，谁给的黑木耳？黑木耳。
喂，
这个。
台湾给了没？
你看一下。
那个不是 made in Singapore。
这个 has to be this one。你看有那个 logo。
But it said produce of China.
Yeah.
But packed in Singapore.
Not good enough.
Is this packed in Singapore
This
or produce?
Totally made in Singapore.
哪里写 made in Singapore？
下面有个 logo。
All country or Singapore 啊？
金针菇只有
Wait, I see. Is this made in Singapore?
China confirm。
Product of China.
因为 Korea China 金针菇没有新加坡的吗？
Product of but is
真的
in
没有
Malaysia.
路边，没有
There's no 金针菇
没有新加坡
made in
的。
Singapore. Product
那你
of
的
Australia
OK。
and China. No Singapore. No Singapore.
So actually cabbage.
Product of China.
China, so China and Australia.
Both Singapore.
Oh well.
按照关呢？
actually 有 SG 的 fresh 菜 but it's all the stuff that 可以丢进 steamboat 的。
这是 salad 来的。
so it's all salad stuff. Okay, so everything 就是 Malaysia 的 except for 这个 Singapore 小白菜 steamboat 小白菜。
第一次用小白菜。
I think 最 challenging
买蛋。
就是要买肉 because all of the rolls right 都是不是 Brazil 的，就是Malaysia。你看这个shabu shabu Australia，喵。这看起来很 exciting。Rib eye， but product of Brazil， tak boleh。这个Japanese word 就没有看了。海底捞 ，but product of Singapore， 我不吃 tripe。Chicken slice origin from Brazil. 这个嘞product of Singapore. 这个是origin from US.
都要买鱼
啊？因为没有什么肉吗？一定要买鱼的吗？那个 tilapia， 呀，而且是 skinless 的，而且最重要是有那个 logo。跑到最后，你觉得 OK 吗？
？Country origin。
你看，再看 Hokkaido scallop， 你 Hokkaido scallop 你找得到新加坡，我说很厉害。
这是日本的。
不用看的啦 ，scallop， 新加坡有生产 scallop 的没？
有吗？
这个I think最容易买的，因为 because everything 都是 product of Singapore。你随便因为波波多多全部都是 local brand 来的嘛。So everything 都是 made in Singapore， 是不是？我没有错right？啊 ？Imported from Malaysia。Oops, I was wrong.
But manufactured from Singapore， 这是看哪一个？哦，那。
来，product of Singapore。collagen， 喵，可以，可以，哦 ，OK， found one， but 没有大包的嘞。So you need several of these。
1块5毛3啊
I'm sorry, what are you doing？
我在 Scarlet 买9毛钱，
OK，
现在变1块半，把 Scarlet out of stock 了。
中国的饮料 ，what are you
Hello。
doing？ 我们回来了。So， 现在来介绍一下 the stuff that we bought。There's actually we bought quite a lot of stuff. Okay, come tell us more.
OK， 今天我们去了 NTUC， 打算要做一个 SG60 的 steamboat。So 尽量买全部 Singapore product from Singapore 的。So apparently 平时我们每次喝的都是那种 collagen 不然就是那种import from Japan 的那种素杯。这次我们去 NTUC 看到一个 produce in Singapore 它就是叫什么Ichio， 这个是 chicken collagen， 这个是 pork broth 的 collagen。它的全部都是 made in Singapore。So 今晚会 try 这2个。
Yeah, excited to see what.
And 菜，我们也是发现有蛮多菜是没有说made in Singapore， 是 made in Singapore 吗？还是
produce in Singapore？
Produce in Singapore 啦。所以我们第一次買小白菜 to try for steamboat。平時是吃黃柏，不然就是 spinach for steamboat。把這2個呢，either就是 made from products from China， 不然就是 product from Malaysia。
So
you cannot find any in Singapore for spinach 還是黃柏 ，so sad。
So I realized that Malaysia 跟 China they monopolize most of the veggie production, but we still produce some. So there are some vegetables that are produced in Singapore, so like lettuce and stuff, but those don't go well in hot pot. So anyway, this one 介绍一下。
这个是黑木耳 ，which is
Black fungus
Jacob 最喜欢的。
Oh yeah, so we really bought it for him.
Then 也是
locally
grown 的。So 还没有 try 过这个 brand so we will try and see how. Probably the same 啦。
Yeah. So the one that we always have 是 China 的
Yeah, product from China.
So it'll be interesting to see how this compares.
Then come to protein.
Yeah, proteins.
Protein wise, 因为我们没有什么肉，因为大多数的肉不是
Brazil and Australia.
Brazil, Australia, China, 或者I think
Vietnam and Thailand.
Vietnam 也有。
Yeah. Hey, I realized something. So when we were looking for this, right? So 这个是crab stick. So this is made in Singapore by Dodo. So when we were looking for this, right? 我才 realized到 actually almost all crab stick 都是made
Vietnam 或者就是
Thailand. Yeah.
Then I think 没有 Singapore 很少 and this is the only one that we found in supermarket Dodo 的 then 很小包而已耶，你看一片才几个，1个、2个、3个、4个、5个、6个，6个2块多了。
Oh, it's very expensive. So I think maybe Singapore the production quality 比较 high, or workers slightly more expensive to hire. But I'm excited to try this 什么味道
Yeah, we never tried this brand before. So usually we buy is the Malaysia, Thailand 的 brand.
Thailand 的 brand 还是 Japanese 的？
是 Thailand 或者 Japanese 的
So
brand 的。
Dodo, if you are watching, right, actually make this cheaper, then we'll eat this more often. Right.
Then 我们也买Dodo的fish ball，我们每次都是买这个 signature fresh fish ball 的。
慢慢的 favorite.
慢慢的 favorite。Then 就买了1包来 try。Then 我们买 fish， then 这次也是买product from Singapore 的logo fish， 这个是
street fish,
tilapia.
Yeah. So something to know, right? 有这个 logo or if it has this logo, it is locally grown and produced. So support local.
So 也是第一次 try， 所以我们会 try see how
fresh it is.
And this is our all-time favorite. 才 realize 这个也是product from Singapore 的。So we never know this is product from Singapore until 这次去 search for it. And this is on offer also.
Yeah.
它刚好可以撕2半的。
Yeah. So 我们有 try to 买shabu shabu beef and pork as well, but turns out right, most of them from Brazil or from
Malaysia
or from the US. But we managed to find one new roll, and guess what? It's from 海底捞.
Yeah, 这个是海底捞的 and 这个每次sold out， 每次卖完 so 昨天我们快 lucky， 我们 find out 连一次过少了3盒。
Yeah.
这个 marinade beef 你们在海底捞会看到的，一模一样的。
Yeah. So I think why this is considered a product of Singapore is because if you buy like really pure beef and pork slices, right? So it's all done in Brazil or Australia or whichever country of origin it is. It comes here, it's a product of that country, it's a product of Brazil or product of Australia. But for this, right, because it's processed in Singapore, so the beef slices come here, they just marinate it, they mix stuff in it. So the final product is a marinated beef slice, so that can be considered a product of Singapore. Yeah. Okay, and that's it. So 我们等下 we can cook it up and then see what it tastes like. Alright? It's good, huh? So another thing that we almost forgot was the chili, because each steamboat you must have chili. So we found one that is also made in Singapore. So good. Let's try this. Oh, looking good. Okay, I think it's good. I try out. Just try the other soup. So this is chicken broth, chicken collagen broth. This is pork collagen broth.
全部煮好了，我看一下拿了。
Yeah.
我看有什么。
Okay, you can try this meat in Singapore local chili as well.
全部不一样的，人哦。
How would you say is the flavor compared to what we usually have?
都是一样的咯。Black Fungus 都没有味道的。
This is chicken.
是啊。这个呢
？Is it nice?
好看。
Very expressive, like do the eyebrow thing.
我在看好。
Okay. You wanna try the
salt level? Actually not bad.
The salt level is not bad.
你不是讲到来 not salty 这样
Yeah, I thought it was very bland. I thought it tasted quite bland. Try the pork. What's the pork?
It's like 那个咯 but pork 了
So it's like the chicken but it's pork.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is made in Singapore crab stick.
Actually not bad.
Not bad. Oh. Would you say it's comparable to Kibun?
都没有吃太多，我还是会预开 stick 的。
Oh really? But how's the flavor wise?
好吃哦。
好吃。
Yeah.
It's from a local fish farm. It's tilapia.
Yeah.
What do you think?
因为it tastes like 那种 restaurant 那个 steam 的那个 fish。
Oh, it tastes like restaurant steam fish.
那个他们放 fish shop，我不懂人理解吧？那个。
Okay. Is it nice?
Yeah. It's not 咸，所以。
It's not 咸。No, you need to eat less salt, man.
这个真的是 not salty 的。
这小白菜
啊，小白菜。What do you think?
我现在都不要新入放小白菜。
口感 OK？
这个是那个 expensive 的干咪咪。
那个 crab stick， 多多的 expensive crab stick。
not bad。
也是 not bad。好吃啊 ！Compared to 我们 normally 吃的嘞，
这个比较好吃。
这个比较好吃啊。OK。
把煮得太久，要 maybe 煮一下子就 enough 了，
就进去
太熟它太 soft 了。
Okay. So if Dodo produces at a lower price point, then potentially
多一点quantity会比较好。
or more is better. Yeah, you're right. What are you trying next?
Fish.
Or the tilapia?
Not bad.
Not bad. 你已经讲3次 not bad 了嘞，懂吗？你3个东西都是 not bad 的。OK。
是哎。
好吃哎。
没有那个鱼腥味。
没有鱼腥味。OK。
怎样讲啊？比 definitely 比 Dory Fish 好吃啊。它就是你可以感觉它是很像很 fresh 的 fish 哦。
And coming from me, right? Because 你 typically 你没有吃鱼的，
没有吃那种鱼的，所以因为我觉得还 OK， 我觉得没有那个腥味是一个 plus point。
可以买。
这个是什么素？
这个是 pork collagen 烧啊。Chicken collagen。
我比较喜欢 chicken。
你不要想 chicken 啊？
它的 pork 有一点点淡，有一点淡淡的味道。
有点 bland 啊。
因为我觉得 chicken 的比较好吃。
OK。哦，吃到完。Okay, so what are your thoughts?
My thought or your son thought?
你的 thought 先，我要听你这样讲。
我的 thought And it's worth to try with a different soup base.
Okay.
好吃。
Ingredients 的菜
Ingredients 全
fish
部都 OK。
Which would be your favorite?
My favorite? You mean the soup base?
No, the ingredients.
The ingredients the crab stick.
Crab stick Dodo crab stick. The expensive one. What else? Is there anything that's nice that 我们 next time 吃 steamboat 时 we can add?
I think the fish bar.
The fish The locally sourced fish? The locally produced
The
farm?
tilapia.
Tilapia.
Then we next time can change 换一下菜也是，就是小白菜。
Oh, it's actually nice, right?
It's nice.
At first we didn't
But
think.
actually 小白菜有很多 brands。And 这个 brands 这个 Singapore 的这个 brands 煮了不会苦。
Okay.
有一些小白菜煮了你会吃的会苦苦的味道，这个不会 OK。
Okay, good. What do you think?
我是觉得 OK 的。
你觉得 OK 啊 ？What are your thoughts in 那个 broth 那个 soup?
Not as 咸 as normal 的。
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, not good.
你想 you like them salty?
Yeah.
But is it okay? Would you like?
OK 啊，好吃啊。
好喝 right? Then in terms of the ingredients, what is your favorite ingredient?
那鱼也是好吃
The tilapia is good.
呀，然后海底捞 beef 那个一定是最好的。
麻辣海底捞
那个 beef 啦。
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 5.
maybe 还有一个 3.5。
3.5啊。
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad because 泽的那个很 rigorous 的他的那个 rating。To be honest, I was quite surprised by the quality of food that's produced here. The tilapia and the xiao bai cai in particular stood out for their freshness and taste, and I would definitely be including them in my steamboat from now on. We also saw a lot of other produce that we couldn't use for a steamboat, but would definitely make a nice stir fry or other dishes. And I think we've come a long way in terms of increasing the variety of foods that we produce. And as for our challenge for this video, I think it's definitely possible to prepare a great steamboat using entirely locally grown or produced ingredients. And it says a lot about the accessibility of these that we were able to do this without doing any online research and just heading down to our nearest supermarket and grabbing anything that's labeled SG Produce. While we are talking about this, the next time you are buying groceries, do keep a lookout for any products that have this SG Fresh Produce badge on the packaging, and consider buying them as an alternative to what you usually get. Doing this helps support our local farmers.